is in the way, but love is in my veins. Tell me that we're back, and tell me that we are here to stay. But we can never stay.
All right. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. Where did my DCS world go? It vanished. It's hidden behind something. It says it's there, but it's not there. Well, somehow or another. Yeah, DCS is not there, but it's there. I don't know what happened. Let me do a Control-Alt-Delete and force it to close and then restart. Well, that was unexpected. I've never had that happen before. It's always something, right? Well, what I need to do tonight is do some more practicing for dogfighting and just practicing in general. I have been challenged to a dogfight in Digital Combat Simulator, and I know nothing about dogfighting. All of my adventures as Skydude have been in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and there's no combat. And because I didn't know how to fly, there was no point in me learning how to do combat simulation until I knew how to fly. So anyway, now that I know how to fly, I've got some friends of mine wanting to challenge me in DCS World. So I've been CRAM coursing, crash studying, or however you want to say it, cramming the course since Friday. Just pretty much every minute that I have to get over here and learn some more. I have been here. Okay, it's reloading. 15 years of DCS, it says. Oh, that last, there's some editing on that last video that was required. The last two, actually. I've been using this track underneath it and thought it was all right, but it wasn't. So I'm going to be trying a new bed track. A bed track. It still hasn't loaded, folks. I'm still looking at 15 years of DCS, and it hasn't finished. So they might be doing something over there with the cert. Well, here it comes. Anyway, I also have this bit of music here by Arthur. Just a little bit of an instrumental or electronica. I thought I'd like to try this as a bit of bed music, and hopefully Arthur hasn't copyrighted it or whatever, or it shows up at his end and he can hit share and everything will be fine. I like it. How did I only end up with the 30-second version, though? What? Maybe it was already loaded? No. Hold on a second. Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry, it's just media player. So what I've been trying to do all day so far is practicing this dogfight against two A10s. And I've only managed to kill one, and if they don't shoot me down, I end up killing myself. Just lose control of the aircraft and kill myself. That's weird. Not only did it kill DCS World, there it comes. In OBS, it didn't want to show up. It finally recaptured it. And we're back. Okay, great. Okay. So I've been doing this, trying to do this dogfight all day. Okay. And then I've been watching dogfighting lessons, training lessons. All right. So the first thing that they said is really learn the speed of your airplane. They failed to mention that in why, and I don't know why this is at all. As I understand it, DCS World in the cockpit and in the HUD, it displays your speed as miles per hour. It is not displaying your speed as knots. So then when you go to read some documentation, and it's telling you, you need to be going a minimum of 350 to 500. Right? And then you come into the simulator and you do 350 to 350. Let's just say right there. Like 350 is one of the best places to be, or between 350 and up to 500 for your maximum turning. At 350, the plane becomes completely uncontrollable, and I'm not able to do anything but fall out of the sky. So Henning was watching me earlier in my live stream, and he's like, it's not in knots. So I had to break out a miles per hour to knot converter. 350 miles per hour is 400 and about 404 knots. 500 miles per hour is 575 up there. 570, 579, 580 knots. So I started changing how I'm flying my plane to make sure that I'm between 400 and 570 to 90. And that's made all the difference in the world. So kudos to Henning to point that out. At the moment, I don't know. Let me go over to Google real quick and see if there's a way to make OBS use knots. I mean, make DCS World. KTS. Instead of MPH. Practical question about MPH, KPM, and knots in DCS World. Knots to MPH is apparently to multiply with 1.15, but I'm European and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Control modifier, simple planes. Change the speed simple system. That's a different game. Okay, let's try this again. Up at the top. Do, 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 do. I'm not seeing it. Why MPH instead of knots? Whatever. Either way, that helped a lot. So now that I stay above 400, my turning is pretty good, and it's even cooperating with the autopilot. Okay. So then the next thing is now trying to figure out all of these maneuvers. So I've watched videos on about 10 to 12 maneuvers. The first one is just a circle. Then there's jinxed, where you're going side to side. And then there's a high G barrel roll. Then they got one called scissoring. And, you can watch a video on it, and then when you come in here, it all goes out the window. So I've got as far as getting my speed under control and getting my turns under control. But after that, it's really hard to know what to do. And I'm having a dickens of a time, folks. So you'll see really quickly how crappy I am at this. Hey, tomorrow I'm having another, speaking of crappy, I'm having a horrible time remembering my Apple ID password. Okay. Now, why do I need that? I found out today through my followers here, my people that come in, I wouldn't call them followers, my friends that came into my chat room today, and they told me about these free head trackers that you can, software that you can get, and you can use with a webcam or your iPhone. Right? So no need for a Tobii eye tracker. I mentioned earlier, man, I really need an eye tracker for this. It's driving me insane, and it must be driving you insane as a viewer. So I went over there to get my iPhone software, the head tracker software, and it says, well, before you do that, before you can install it, you've got to input your Apple ID password. I don't remember my password. So then they said, okay, we'll do a password reset. So I went to do a password reset, and it says, well, before you can do a password reset, you need to enter the passcode of this phone. Well, I don't have a passcode on the phone. I don't go out anywhere. Right? I don't care for them. So I set up a passcode, and it says you can't authorize your passcode without your Apple ID. Jesus Christ. So now I'm jumping through all these hoops, and they're like, well, now it's going to take several days for us to authenticate your Apple ID and get back to you about resetting your password. Jesus Christ. Pardon me, Lord. Pardon me, Lord, twice. But that's how pissed off I am about it. So the latest I got is, we will call your phone to alert you when help you reset your Apple ID. I don't have Apple Pay. I don't use any bullcrap like that. I'm too old, so I don't even have a passcode. I don't care. There's nothing on it that's important at all. It's all for a damn Apple ID and a dumb password I can't remember. Set the damn phone up. The good news is if I can get all that squared away, dear viewers, maybe by this time tomorrow night, hopefully, I will have it set up and have it using eye track software on the iPhone with DCS World and Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I watched a couple videos on how people are they've set up the controls and all the curves right, so it matches the way your head actually is supposed to turn and move, and when you lean forward and twist your body and blah, blah, blah. Folks, if I can get that working, I'm going to be so happy. I mean, like, stupid happy. because I didn't want to invest the money into the Tobii Eye tracker or any of the other head tracking, and this is all free. I mean, what's better than that? All right, I've kept you waiting long enough with this.
8 kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Right.
Fuel 1500.
Both of them missed. I'm going 550, so I need to slow down. Okay. Now, turning, 60 degrees, between 30 and 60 degrees, should give you the best turn. Okay. But after that, you're losing energy, I guess. They talk a lot in dogfighting about energy. Okay. Now they're coming around and they're below me. What I'm going to do is maybe like try to go inverted and fall and try to catch this guy here. Let me kick in my flaps for a minute. Just for a second there. And then put power back into the engine. Oops, he's diving and turning. I need to dive and not lose too much speed. And if I had a head tracker, I'd be much more happy. And he's going this way now. And I don't know where his partner's at. And he's probably going to be behind me any second. And killing me. And this guy's going to go this way now. Oh, he turned around. 530. Already survived longer than I feel I should. There's one of them. Okay, don't want to get too far into the turn. Lose my energy. Let me scissor back the other way. Oh, and there we go. I got hit. Ah. Well, that's probably the longest I've ever lasted. Again, I'm usually the one killing myself. Turn up some things here. Do. So as you see, let me also, I haven't pulled up any chat room stuff in case anybody pops into my chat room. Speaking of chat rooms, even if you have any subscribers or not, or you have any content on YouTube or not, if you come into my chat room, I'm going to add you as a subscriber if that's okay. But please come into the chat room and say hi, or drop an emoji, or just an exclamation point, type "you suck," whatever you want. As long as you go into the chat room and make some sort of note, I can easily just click on your name, which allows me now to go to channel, which takes me, it opens up another window, opens up your channel, and I can hit subscribe. It makes it so easy. So if you would like me to subscribe to you, and again, I don't care if you have any content or not yet, we all start somewhere, I will be happy to subscribe to you. So, okay. Here we go again. And after doing this for a little bit, I'll just go off and do some other type of training. And everybody's told me to hit the controls for respawn, but they don't, Well, earlier it was pulling up a, well, I'll try it the next time I die, which won't be long.
Eight kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Fuel 1500.
Dang it. Right off the bat. Schmuck. Damaged. Destroyed. Got one. Wow. All right. Usually I get lucky on the first pass. Usually I haven't been lucky at all. But he ejected right on. I'm supposed to be doing these kind of crazy scissoring maneuvers. Possibly avoid lock on, and there he is. Okay, now I need to get underneath. Where is that now? Gotta fly like a weirdo.
Over G, over G, over G, over G, over G, over G, over G.
Oh, he's right behind me. Okay, so pull back, invert, dip the nose, flip around, come back down, and that didn't work at all, I don't think.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Nope. Oh yeah, let's try this. Right shift control tab. Am I out of it? So right shift control tab. Control tab, shift tab, control tab. Let's see. Tab. Shift tab, control tab. Shift tab. Do anything. So spawn, see, watch, I'll show you. SPAWN. Spawn, respawn. Right control, right shift, plus tab. Right control, right shift, tab. Nope. Do, 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 do.
Eight kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Fuel 1500.
Droid. Okay. Okay, he's behind us. Flip. Pull. Down. Then. Guy going down. Up. Didn't help. Still behind us. Okay, pull up. Oh, come on. Pull up. Invert. Pull down. Invert. Still behind us, but we've shaken him a little bit. We start rolling. Nope.
Minimum speed. Minimum speed. Minimum speed. Minimum speed. Minimum speed. Minimum speed.
I want to exceed my turn again. Find him without him finding us. And so he's right behind us again. And this way, and they said it's going to be a lot harder to go right than left for whatever reason in your plane. I don't understand that.
Pull up. Pull up.
I don't see him. Okay, let me try something else. Let's go to options. Okay, I guess we can add a whole bunch more key bindings if we use things like shift and control and other things. So let's go to view and see if I can just set some of these up as quickly move over. So I can quick change to cameras, right? Camera, alt down left, alt left slow, alt right, forward, left slow, blah, blah, blah. Snap view, that sounds about right. Right alt number 4. Oh, I don't want that. I want that on the joystick. So let's see. Snap view right. Let's try that first. Camera, snap view right. Let's hold shift. Modifiers. Shift. Left shift. Add. This is complicated. Let's check 3D. Button POV. 1. Down, down left, down right, left, right. And then it's in use. Okay. Add. What? Already been added. This again. Add device name. Joystick. What? Shift, turn. No. And now that's, those all work, but now the right doesn't work at all. Okay. Oh, then there's glance. There's between a glance and a snap. Guess it still moves the camera over. Snap and right. Okay, how do we find just the damn controls for the Logitech? Okay, there's POV 1. What is that? View up slow. View right slow. When we put in, I think. Well, we should clear all these. Because slow isn't happening for us. Bounce, bounce, bounce down. Try that. Action, glance down, key button, and modifier. Down. Bounce. Left. That's right. Well, where's right? Not clear those other ones. Still don't see right. Got left. Left. Why the right one doesn't want to show now is a little concerning. Now we don't have a right. That. Well, let's check and see how this works now. That's not far enough. Up. Ah, clear that. Alright, so up, right, left, down. Okay. That didn't, okay, let's see about doing the other ones then. We've at it. View. Okay. There's up left. Up left. That's up right. I wonder if you can set up a, I guess you can, right? You can set up a rear view. So I guess if we were to go and create our own custom view that showed us what's behind us. So then if I click the down, left, or right, it'll show us what's behind us. Camera. We're moving forward. Free camera. Yeah, you can custom snap views. Cockpit camera. Custom snap view. All right. Oh, let's try it. Yeah, that's nice. Right? Downright dirty scumbag. All right, downright. All right, I like that. Okay. But what we need is a saved custom view like this. Okay. Custom views. Turn off pause or pause head tracking. Press left win number where number corresponds to the view you want to change. Use the keyboard. Press left win number corresponds to the view you want to change. Use the keyboard commands. Number keys to rotate. Will ship, blah blah blah. Use da 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 da. How about we find a video on it? DCS. All right, I hope the following people don't mind if I play their video. Hopefully there's no music in it. Go over to YouTube. Window. Man, nothing wants to work right tonight. Studio.
Hello everybody, Peg here. So I just want to show you guys how to do how to use and set up custom snap views. Mainly because when I tried to learn how to do this, there wasn't very many references online or anything showing me how to do it. Kind of had to figure it out on my own. So it's quick and easy. Basically, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have this command set up, which is save cockpit angles, and the default is right alt plus numpad 0. And then you want to go to your snap views and bind any one, doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put it as N. And so this is what the default snap view 8 is, custom snap view 8. Kind of stupid, right? So to change that, first you need to press it so it knows that that's the one you want to press. It'll do the last one you press. And then you want to put your head in the position you want. So say I want to look at my left MFD close up, and then all you do is press the right alt plus numpad 0. And now, when I press N, bang. Quick and easy. Took me a while to figure it out, but you know. Peg here. So I just want to show you guys how to do how to use and set
I'm subscribing to your channel. I need some help, sir.
Mainly because when I tried to learn how to do this, there wasn't very many references online or anything showing me how to do it. Kind of had to figure it out on my own. So it's quick and easy. basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have this command set up, which is save cockpit angles, and the default is right alt plus numpad 0.
Right alt plus numpad 0.
Go to your snap views and bind any one, doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put it as N. And so this is what the default snap view 8 is, custom snap view 8. Kind of stupid, right? So to change that, first you need to press it so it knows that that's the one you want to press. It'll do the last one you press. And then you want to put your head in the position you want. So say I want to look at my left MFD close up. And then all you do is press the right alt plus numpad 0. And now, when I press N, bang. Quick and easy.
Yeah, but that's only one view.
A lot to figure out, but you know.
How do you set it to a custom number? That's not right. That's not right. I'm sorry, sir. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm going to get copyright violation for playing a Chick-fil-A. You can't play anything. Any sound that it recognizes as somebody's copyright, they hit you with a copyright. I wouldn't be surprised if that Chick-fil-A thing has its own copyright.
Welcome back to a long-lost series, the DCS World Series. And today, as I'm preparing to get back into DCS World and bring it back to the channel, we are going to be taking a look at creating custom snap views that can be beneficial to you. So let's get started by taking a look at the controls here. So the biggest things that we're going to need right off the bat, what is this?
I don't know, sir. I'm new.
Aircraft Rudder 11. No.
I am subscribing to your channel, and I hope you don't mind me using
Thinking Rudders. Anyway, actually,
overkill simulations. Please, sir, I hope you don't mind if I use some of your video to help get me going. I'm a total noob, and I've been challenged to a fight in DCS World, and I'm cramming the courses to try to get up to speed to end up fighting some German guys. They challenged me. I just normally do my flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but now they're itching to kill me, so I need some fast training, and I need some help with views, and I found your video here. And I'm hoping you have the answer to what I'm looking for. So let's find out. If you are monetized, which I think you are, and you'd like to hit share, that'd be great. If not, and you still approve it without sharing, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do.
we do.
We do.
The first one that we're going to be wanting to take a look at is if you go left win and 1, okay? These are custom snap views. This is what we're going to.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Views once we have created them. Now, there's all of these aircraft have some default custom snap views, which we'll go over in just a minute. However, you're going to find that a lot of them are one of those.
Get my notebook.
Look at them, go. That's kind of odd. Okay, right?
Custom snap.
Then the next one that we're going to need is control, and this is right control and num 0. Cockpit panel view toggle. You're going to want to make sure you.
Okay, so it's got to be toggled. Still
snap views, and you can bind the custom view toggle to anything you want. Okay, that's not a requirement. And then you're going to want save cockpit angles. So you're going to want those 3 key binds set up.
Save
there,
cockpit
you can go just about
angle
where you want. So I'm going to show you guys how this all works. And then obviously the ability to manipulate the cameras. Actually, this is a good point. So to manipulate the cameras, you're going to want these view down slow, view right slow, view. Those are the, as long as it says view direction slow, that's what you're going to want for manipulating the camera.
Really?
What you're going to want here is zoom in slow.
Well, what about external camera?
Allows to change our forward position in the camera. So now let's get into how to actually set these up. So let's see here. First off, if you use Alt and C on your keyboard, you can move your mouse anywhere you want. Make sure you have a zoom configured. Okay, so let's take a look at how we're going to make all these work. First off, if you hit, by default, left Alt and C, Charlie on your keyboard, you can see that when we have the yellow target cursor up on our screen, we can manipulate all the controls in the cockpit. If you hit left Alt C again, you can now move your mouse around and change your cockpit. The other thing that I also recommend having zoom or mapped somewhere that's really helpful, forgot to mention this. Let's go to axis commands. Is this bottom one here? Where are you? Zoom view. So this one here, map it to an axis, or you can just use the controls in and out like we talked about before.
I understand that.
Oh. Why are we bound over there? Look at that. I have no idea why that's set up there. So let's go and find that. Oh, you know what? It's my first time in the Hornet in a while. So let's go back.
You can zoom in and out really quick if you want to, by using your joystick, maybe.
So we're just going to zoom that. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why that's set to that. I would not want that. Although that's actually pretty creative. All right, so anyway, now we can zoom in and out, and all of these positions are going to be saved. So this was cool. Okay.
Well, let me pause right there.
I'm going to leave this up for now.
And I'm going to try that, the right-click number 0 here. Right control. Number pad, or is number pad 0 or number 0? Nope. That's what I want. I want that is right control number pad 0. I do. Didn't work. Okay. Let me do another search then. I'm really looking for, I understand that, sir, but I'm really looking for saving external views. How to watch a replay from an external view, images, custom views, cockpit views, unable to use external view cameras. Can't use any view modes except 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm clueless. Skip to 619 and watch from there. This video is unavailable. Great. Camera control reference sheet. Great. PDF I don't want to download.
Hyundai Tucson versus Toyota RAV4.
Creative. All right, so anyway, now we can zoom in and out, and all of these positions are going to be saved. So this was cool. Okay, so I'm going to leave this up for now. I'll probably just use the keyboard commands. And the first thing we're going to do is hit left win and 1.
Okay, again, that as I go through this video.
You notice when I let go, it goes back to the view. So this is again left win.
Okay, well, that's the best we got for right now.
Left win.
So
3. I mean, you can see some of these views are a little odd.
we'll have to add other ones later. Maybe there is a way to do it. I don't know. But this hopefully should help us now. Hopefully this helps us considerably. Doing it this way. Put my notebook over here. Where are we at? 9 o'clock. It is time for the smoke break. Normally I do it at 20 minutes after the hour, but I need to get another cup of coffee, or at least some tea or something. And so I am going to step away for a minute. But before I do, I need to set this to be right back. Either be right back. And I also need to play the song of the day that I had picked out. But because I closed everything trying to figure that out, I'm back to square one. Now I gotta pull up Arthur's stuff again. Called Broomfield. For Broomfield, Colorado. And
It would be
this isn't the song.
so wonderful if I could be alone.
Did I pick the wrong one? That being the tune I wanted to play. Oh, I see that. I see what happened here. This is the whole album. No wonder, no wonder. Okay, this is the feature song of the day. I didn't know this was the whole album. Cool. I got a bunch of Arthur Yoria tracks I can play. Try this again. This is No Breaks, right? No Breaks off the album Bloomfield by Arthur Yoria. I'll be back in a moment.
Summer's gone away. Winter's here. Could it be here to stay? So wonderful if I could be alone, without you blowing kisses with your ghost. I'll always love you, but please let me go. I'll always love you, but please let me go. Tragic if I were in the ground, still listening to your patronizing sounds. Pretend you love me and please let me go. I'll always love you, but please let me.
Oops. I was going to try to fade that out, but I was terribly unsuccessful at that. All right. I don't remember if, why don't you roll right? It sounds like somebody's calling you.
Eight kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Fuel 1500.
On. All right, I did it. I don't know if the mission ends. There was only supposed to be 2 of them. Well, I don't know. It only says we have 2 to fight. Let's go back to the briefing and see what it says. Objective: shoot down both A-10s. And we did. Well, you saw it there. The very first time I was able to shoot down both things. Now, luck or using the other using the cameras that way, the point of view, is exactly what I needed. Either way, success. Don't you hate it when you got something stuck in your teeth and you just can't get it out? It's such a pain in the butt. Sukhumi Babushara.
Eight kilometers ahead are 2 A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Oh, should have tried for him first then.
Fuel 1500. Hydraulics failure.
Oh, and then he got me.
Hydraulics
The other guy.
failure. EOS failure. MLWS failure. ECM failure. ACS failure.
I am a failure.
Hydraulics failure.
Kineas failure.
EOS failure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um.
Eight kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Well, I'll be damned. I couldn't get on point. Oh, now I'm in trouble. I can't see either one of them.
Fuel 1500. Hydraulics failure.
Oh.
Hydraulics failure. Hydraulics failure.
That's what it's usually been like all day long. So I get lucky and then no. If I can't eliminate one of them on that first pass, then I'm sunk pretty much. Very hard.
Eight kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
On, get over. Do it.
Fuel 1500.
Far away. Fall, DiMaggio, fall. Oh, that's your luck. Just a second ago. Don't see him at all, folks.
Over.
I don't know. Oh, there he is. Of course. Hello? Nobody's home.
Eight kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Get off a little bit more speed. Point 5.
Fuel 1500.
Up, 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 up.
EOS failure.
Damn it, I can't even see him in my mirror.
EOS failure. ECM failure. ACS failure. Hydraulics failure. EOS
And there was
failure.
another one up there.
MLWS failure. ECM failure. ACS failure.
Huh.
Eight kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Fuel 1500.
Over.
Worried about. Got a bad feeling he's behind me again.
MLWS failure. ECM failure. Hydraulics failure. MLWS failure. ECM failure. Hydraulics failure. MLWS failure. ECM failure.
He's able to, at the weight I'm still using, I guess, maybe. He's able to climb better than me. How do we dump a weapon? Because the only ones that we need are our cannons and then our... When we get in, let's pause and let's see what we have. Okay. Oh, I guess we don't. We're not fully loaded. Okay, the ones on the inside. Okay, the ones on the outside are short range, and the ones on the inside are longer range.
Eight kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Come on.
Fuel 1500.
Oh my god. First pass, totally screwed up. I got no tone at all. I I also have something I haven't tried. That's turning on E and left shift E. E and left shift E. Uno momento, please. Uno momento, please. Test, test, 1, 2. 1 second, please. Uno momento, please. Test, test, 1, 2. 1 second, please.
Eight kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
Left shift.
Fuel 1500.
.9 miles. That was the best dogfighting I have done so far. That made me feel really damn good. Where? You're kidding me, my gear? Do I have any more weapons? Nope. Huh. What about unlimited weapons? Hey, if you're a dogfighter and have any words of experience, please, by all means. I've been challenged to a dogfight by some German friends, and I know nothing about it, and so I don't want to keep them waiting, so I'm learning as much as I can, as fast as I can in DCS World. This is the software they want to use to, the simulator they want to use to blow me up, sir and or madam. And so I'm over here practicing dogfighting, and I've probably just finished having the best rounds I've had so far. I started on Friday and have been going through the training a lot, and now I'm concentrating on just strictly the dogfighting and learning, watching videos when I'm not playing, learning everything I can about tactics of dogfighting. And it's helped me somewhat, but again, like the last maybe 15 minutes, probably the best I've had so far. For the first moment, I thought, maybe there's hope. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I won't look like a total jackass in front of the Germans. So...
8 kilometers ahead are two A-10s coming directly at you. Use your R-60M and R-73 missiles to shoot them down. Press escape and then select briefing to view a list of useful key commands.
That was dumb.
Fuel 1500.
And then I blow it on the first pass. And he's going to turn around. Uh-oh. I don't think I can recover. Maybe.
Overgy, overgy, overgy.
I say I have the best, and then I come back in and pop. Right off the bat. The sad sound of me blowing up down below. All right. You're probably tired of watching me just get blown up over and over again. So we definitely need to break it up a little bit. And just go back to trying our other stuff again. Okay. I think I can attack some of these better now. What I know about they stress so much in the basic training of dogfighting that you've got to know your turning speeds. Okay, so I really need I have spent time learning about the turning speeds of this aircraft. And what I've learned is that in the game, it's displaying everything in miles per hour, and some instructors will be talking about knots. And there's a big difference, like a 70 plus mile an hour difference between a knot and a mile. So if somebody says you need to go 300 miles or 300 knots, the game is in miles, but again, some instructors will be speaking in knots. And that seems to cause one of the biggest problems I've had so far with power management. Everybody's been saying at 350 to 500, the Su-25 will turn much better. Well, they're speaking in knots. They're not speaking in miles. And so when I adjusted in here, the speeds that I'm flying, she seems to be doing much better. So I'm trying to think of one of these here where you have to go up and flip over into, you have to do a dive. But I've been diving so fast I can't make my damn dive. I think it's this one right here. Computer controlled impact mode, unguided bombing. So he'll make us go through a bunch of gates and then climb really hard. And then we have to go inverted and then dive down onto the target. You'll see here as we go. This is a real trip. So now if I calculate the speeds differently and adjust to bleed off my speed for the best turning when I get to the top, as opposed to being balls out and having so much energy, you know, flying at 750 at the top of the turn, I can't turn. The plane is uncontrollable.
In this lesson, we're going to learn how to deliver unguided bombs in the Continuously Computed Impact Point mode, or CCIP. Unguided bombs of the SU-25T include the Fab 100, Fab 250, Fab 500, RBK cluster bombs, and BADAB penetration bombs. In this case, I have 2 racks of Fab 100s and a couple of larger Fab 500s. Each of the Fab bombs has a high explosive warhead, and the number in the name indicates the bomb's weight in kilograms. I currently have the lesson in active pause. The first thing I need you to do is select air to ground mode by pressing 7. Do this now. Note that the HUD has changed to remove most of the navigation information and replaced it with bombing symbology. We'll talk more about this soon. You can switch your weapons by pressing D. Try this now. When you cycle a weapon, take a look at the weapon status panel in the bottom center of the front dash. It's the black panel with the shape of a wing along the top. There are 2 rows of lights below it. The top row of yellow lights indicates the weapon stations that have weapons attached to them. And the lower row of green lights indicates weapon stations that are loaded with the currently selected weapon type. In the top right corner of the panel, a B symbol is displayed. This indicates that the selected weapon type is a bomb. You can also see the symbol in the lower right corner of the HUD. By pressing left control and spacebar, you can set the ripple quantity, meaning how many bombs are released when you press and hold the weapon release button or trigger. Try this now. As you cycle ripple quantity, take a look at the weapon control panel in the lower left portion of the front dash. On the panel are 2 knobs. The right knob has positions for X1, X2, X4, and BCE. The position of the knob determines how many bombs will be released, as singles, in pairs, 4 at a time, or all at once. You can set the release interval by pressing V. This determines the time between each bomb release. Longer intervals result in greater spacing between bomb impacts. You can view the setting by looking at the position of the left knob on the weapon control panel. The knob has positions for 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and 0.4 seconds. The last position indicates salvo mode, in which all weapons are released simultaneously. Give this a try. Press V to cycle the release interval. Those are the basics of configuring your settings for bomb release. Now let's learn how to put those bombs on target in CCIP mode. Using what you learned in the navigation lessons, fly through all the gates ahead. Press the spacebar to unpause the lesson. If you are not already, press 7 to enter air-to-ground mode. On the HUD, you can see a pipper with a dot in the center. This is your bombing reticle, and we'll use it to aim your bombs. When you're within valid bomb release parameters, indicated by the launch authorization queue on the HUD, the bombs will impact where the bombing reticle pipper is at time of weapon release. Along the left side of the HUD is the range scale bar and caret that indicates the bomb fall range. In the bottom left corner of the HUD, IP ground is indicated, meaning visual bombing mode is selected. The B in the bottom right corner of the HUD indicates you have bomb selected. Ahead and below your nose is a set of trucks marked with red smoke. This will be your aim point. When you fly to the next gate, quickly begin a dive onto the target.
Shit. I missed it. I thought I was supposed to release them. Ah, crap. Well, at least it was much better. It worked like in the adjustments that I've made coming in around at least over 600 and not having it all the way up to 700. It's still, you've got to bleed off your damn speed super fast. So it's like when you begin your climb, you almost want to pull the throttle almost all the way back, put in your maneuvering wings, and hit the speed brake. So you want to be back under 600. You want to be closer to 500 by the time you hit the top, because you can't control your dive if you're overspeeding. So you go inverted, but that's probably the absolute reason why you go inverted, is because you got to try to waste that energy, I guess. I don't fully understand the physics behind it. All I know is that she doesn't turn good at 700. So you're supposed to approach your climb at 7, and if you keep building up strength and you're like, well, I'll go into it at 750 or 780, by the time I get the top, I'll still be 700 to pull off this turn. No. No, 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 no. So don't let that fool you. When you start climbing, don't build up more speed. Don't gun it if you don't have to. You want to be able to reach the...
In this lesson,
I was flying too damn fast.
Unguided bombs,
Still.
Continuously computed impact point mode, or CCIP. Unguided bombs of the SU-25T include the Fab 100, Fab 250, Fab 500, RBK cluster bombs, and BETA penetration bomb. Note that the HUD has changed to remove most of the navigation. When you cycle a weapon, take a look at the weapon status panel in the bottom center of the front dash. It's the black panel with the shape of a wing along the top. There are 2 rows of lights below it. The top row of yellow lights indicates the weapon stations that have weapons attached to them. And the lower row of green lights indicates weapon stations that are loaded with the currently selected weapon type. In the top right corner of the panel, a B symbol is displayed. This indicates that the selected weapon type is a bomb. You can also see the symbol in the lower right corner of the HUD. By pressing left control and spacebar, you can set the ripple quantity, meaning how many bombs are released when you press and hold the weapon release button or trigger. Try this now.
And I'm sorry I couldn't advance faster on that one. He won't really let you until he finishes talking on that one. So I tried speeding it up. You can kind of speed it up from here once he continues. Left control, spacebar. Oh, I'm out of it. Went to another window. Left control, spacebar.
Cycle ripple quantity. Take a look at the weapon control panel in the lower left portion of the front dash. On the panel are 2 knobs.
Hit B.
Has positions for X1. Those are the basics of configuring your settings for bomb release. Now let's learn how to put those bombs on target in CCIP mode. Using what you learned in the navigation lessons, fly through all the gates ahead. Press the spacebar to unpause the lesson. If you are not already...
Let me pause. He wants you to be at 700 or a little above 700 when you reach the gate. But again, if we convert it to knots, it's only 608. Okay. By the time you reach the top of the climb, you want to be back into the... Okay, so the best turning on this thing is going to be between 1 second here. 404. What's 575 miles per hour? 499. That's like the edge of your best turn rate. Okay, now 350 knots is 304. 350 miles an hour is 304 knots. And that's supposed to be one, like, your best turning radius. But I don't think we can slow down that much when we hit the top of the gate. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, if you would like another subscriber, please say hi or make a period in the chat room. Do anything to make your presence known in the chat room so I can easily click go to channel and subscribe to you. Thank you for coming into my room, into the live stream. Sorry, it's not all action. It's a lot of me having to figure out academic stuff. I am learning. I've been challenged by some folks to do a dogfight, and I know nothing about dogfighting. And so I have to just cram and cram and cram as fast as possible. Okay. Somehow or another, I came out of it. So I think that, we're at the top of the hour. Hey, you just tuned in right at the top of the hour. I was getting ready to take a quick smoke break. If you'd like to stick around, I am trying to practice better maneuvering now and getting my speeds under control for this dogfighting challenge I have coming up. And I know nothing about dogfighting. And but I need a quick little smoke break, and we'll get right back to it. And if you'd like me to subscribe, please make a you would like me to subscribe to you, please say hello in the chat room, and that makes it easy for me to just click your name, click go to channel, and hit subscribe. And I will be right back after the smoke break, and I will play... What happened to the music I was going to play? Great. Today's featured song is by an artist named Arthur Yoria. And this is a title song, the lead track off the album Broomfield. If I can get in there. And pause it and turn it on. Okay. So time for the smoke break. Be back in about 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Smoke if you got them.
Summer's gone away. Winter's here. Could it be here to stay? Love is in the way. But love is in my veins. Tell me that we're back, and tell me that we are here to stay. But we can never stay.
Literally gonna bust my gut. Coughing. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Kinius, the Skydude, on YouTube. I want to say like YouTube TV, but it's not the YouTube TV part of YouTube. It's just YouTube. Sounds better though. You're watching Kinius on YouTube TV. By the way, thanks for tuning in. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. It is a little after the hour here, 10:04 p.m. in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And if you're a long-time viewer, then you're like, what are you doing? You're in DCS world and not Microsoft Flight Simulator. That is right. That is right. I have been challenged. I have been challenged to a dogfight by a German friend, but I'm sure the other German friend wants to blow me up too. And so they've challenged me to a dogfight in, hello, hey, in the chat room, guy that likes planes. Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon. How was your day? I'm still at it over here.
In this lesson, we're going to learn how to deliver unguided bombs in the Continuously Computed Impact Point mode, or CCIP. Unguided bombs of the SU-25T include the
unguided bombs,
Fab 250, Fab 500, RBK cluster bombs, and Beta penetration bombs. In this case, I have 2 racks of Fab 100s and a couple of larger Fab 500s. Each of the Fab bombs has a high explosive warhead, and the number in the note that the HUD has changed to remove most of the navigation information and replaced it with bombing symbology. When you cycle a weapon, take a look at the weapon status panel in the bottom center of the front dash. It's the black panel with the shape of a wing along the top. There are 2 rows of lights below it. The top row of yellow lights indicates the weapon stations that have weapons attached to them. And the lower row of green lights indicates weapon stations that are loaded with the currently selected weapon type. In the top right corner of the panel, a B symbol is displayed. This indicates that the selected weapon type is a bomb. You can also see the symbol in the lower right corner of the HUD. By pressing left control and spacebar, you can set the ripple quantity, meaning how many bombs are released when you press and hold the weapon release button or trigger. Try this now.
All right, so the 2 bombs that we currently have selected are the ones right, the closest on the inside. Okay, so that would be those big fat bombs in the middle, closest to us. Okay, and when we come back in here, we press the D key, Delta. Now, that is all the other bombs on both wings. So go back to external view, look up. So that's all those 16 bombs. Now he's going to talk. Now he's going to talk about the controls to drop, how we tell it how to drop either how to drop 1 or 2 bombs, or 3 bombs or 4 bombs, and then how to set up the spacing, the timing in between each drop. Okay, so let me control there. Oh, clicked out of the window somehow. Oh, when I was chatting. Oh, I will not type again because I've got stuff to do, but I will listen. Hey, wait. I do have a question for you. I've been waiting for you to come on. Do you have Discord? I don't know why I didn't ask, because I normally don't use it. I'm so not used to having anybody to fly with or anybody interacting with me on the live streams. So this is all really new, and so I don't ever think do you have a Discord to ask right away? It would save us so much time. It would save you all the typing time to just be able to talk. Right? That is a guy that likes planes. That is my German friend Henning. And his screen name here is Burger LOL. Right. That is who you're talking to. That is Henning. So what I'm trying to find out, Henning, is if you have Discord. So if you could break away just for a moment or two and let me know if you have Discord. Because if you do have Discord, sir, then I would just love to be able to add you to the live stream so you can talk. We can set up a Discord room, right? And we can both be on the microphones, and I can create an extra audio channel in OBS, and you could allow me to broadcast you when you feel like it, if you care. Or I can hear you, but OBS won't be able to hear you, I think. I may not be able to split the channels that way, but I'll do my best. Huh. Now that's interesting. So what do you and I'm keeping you busy. I'm sorry. So the next question would be, what do you and Hans use? How are you and Hans doing audio communications? What are you using? We're holding for a minute to answer these, get these questions answered. But those two switches right there, this one is for the number of bombs that you want to drop. This one is how much you want to set the spacing to. Meaning 0.1 seconds, 0.2 seconds, 0.3, and 0.4. This is a special salvo mode which drops everything. I don't know what the default is. If he says it, I keep missing it. All I know is he goes, set it to 1, 2, 3, or 4. What is this? If this is salvo, what is this? Okay. Always WhatsApp. I didn't know that that had an audio thing. I've heard of WhatsApp, but I don't even know anything about it. WhatsApp. It is 10:12 p.m. here. Gonna hold because I'm answering questions, getting questions. WhatsApp. Hell is that? But you guys use it for communications. Always something new to add. Let's look it up and see what we get. WhatsApp. WhatsApp web. Open WhatsApp web on your phone. It's on a phone. WhatsApp web. Send and receive WhatsApp messages right from your computer. Chat. Do I have the right thing? WhatsApp is just like an audio call, like a call your mother on the app. So you mean you guys are on the phone with each other? Do you use it on your PC? Or are you using it on your phone and you're actually on the phone together with each other? I don't understand. About WhatsApp, web, and WhatsApp web. Open WhatsApp on your phone. Android, link devices, link a device. Yeah, it says nothing about PC. Basically, but you're saying yes on the PC. WhatsApp web and desktop. WhatsApp desktop, an application you can download to your computer. How to download WhatsApp desktop. This feature isn't available on web app, but it's available on these devices. Select the device, Windows, Download WhatsApp desktop for Windows. Go to the Microsoft App Store. WhatsApp download. In the Microsoft Store, WhatsApp download. Open. Welcome to WhatsApp, a simple, reliable, and private way to use WhatsApp on your computer. WhatsApp. It's being scanned. It's just like SMS. You put in, then you can enter other people's numbers. Discord is anonymous without a number, but WhatsApp isn't. Okay. I don't know why it's pausing. Downloading. Checking product files. Downloading. Update available. It's still doing something. Update available. ... All right, well, you don't have, I mean, if you're busy, don't worry, bother with me now. I'll get this and I'll have this set up for when you are able to interact with me. And I would love to, I'll try to figure out how to set this up as an audio channel, if you don't mind. I'd really love to have you on the put you on the live stream. But you don't have to, as long as I can hear you. But maybe you would like to join the live stream sometime. I don't know what it's doing, if it's updating it or what. Let me just go ahead and hit get started. Set WhatsApp up on your computer. Set up WhatsApp on your computer, you have to open WhatsApp on your phone. I can't use my phone. Oh, this sucks. I'm having a big problem with my Apple ID right at the moment, and I'm gonna. There's a head tracker tool out there that you can use with your iPhone and Microsoft Flight Simulator and DCS World, and it provides head and torso tracking. So I got the software you need for your desktop, but when I went to go get my software for the iPhone, it said, enter your Apple ID. Well, I forgot it. Okay, click here if you forgot your password. I clicked there, and it said, "What is the passcode on your phone?" I don't have a passcode. I don't go anywhere. I don't need a passcode. So then I put 0000 because I have no passcode, and it's like, "You don't know your passcode." And I'm like, "No, I don't know my passcode." So then the other way is, "Oh, well, we're going to have to spend a whole lot of time before we get back to you on how to get your password back." So I thought, okay, well, I'll set up a damn passcode on the damn iPhone. So I set up the passcode. Then it says, "You can't validate your passcode on this phone without entering your Apple ID." I'm in a loop. So I went through other procedures again to try to then, well, what happens if you have no passcode and you've forgotten your password? Well, customer service is going to take some time getting back to you. It could take a day or two, and we'll get back to you. So that's where I'm at. Sorry to make such a long story, but that's where I'm at. So I can't finish this either. Or link with phone number. Tap link a device. Okay, let me try this option here. Sorry, I'll be back in a moment. Select a country, United States. Man, I can see why they don't want anybody being anonymous. Everybody in the world can use this. (719) 502 1176. Enter code on phone. Linking WhatsApp account +1 719 da 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 da. WhatsApp on your phone. Or link with QR code. Open WhatsApp on your phone. Yep. So I'm stuck. At the moment, until I can get my Apple ID, I can't get anything, any apps onto my phone. So I'm in a hold state there. No, that's fine. Yep. You're right. Yep. Just gonna work it out some other time. But it's downloaded and it's set up. Okay. It's time for the smoke break again. I need one after all that. Oh, hey. It went well earlier. I have successfully destroyed both A10s now. So it may not be pretty, and I'm still getting blown up a lot, and I still have to eject a lot, but I have done it. I have defeated both of them, and at one point in one of the dogfights, I felt like I knew what I was doing. And it felt really good. And then I immediately get blown up again. So, one moment, but still, that one moment of feeling good. That 1 second of, hey, I think I did the right thing, and I know why I did it. And I got really happy, and those are the kind of moments that you have in the simulator that make you want to keep going. So I'm feeling pretty good. Tonight's special featured song is not by Brad Sucks. Those are the only two guys that I'm working with at the moment. And so, I use as much of their music as I can, but I've been focusing on Brad. And I've known Arthur maybe one day longer than I know Brad. Maybe a week. But I've known both of them for a long time. And I'm glad I can at least feature their music. Can't believe I've had so many problems trying to find a music service that isn't an arm and a leg to get, you know, royalty-free music for this damn live stream series. Okay, with that, let me play the song again and I'll be right back.
Summer's gone away. Winter's here. Could it be here to stay? Love is in the way. Love is in my veins. Tell me that we're back, and tell me that we are here to stay.
And I hope I never have to repeat that on air. Okay. We are back. Thank you both for being here. And yeah, I'm feeling a lot better this evening. I've been really down about it because it's been it's tough. Brothers and sisters and people of the universe. This is tough. Tough stuff. And Flight Sim was to me too. I never really took to it. It's been like pulling teeth the whole time to learn Flight Simulator, and now moving up to the big league, you know what I mean? And so it's tough as well. But again, you have a moment where you're like, wow, okay, it's starting to sink in. And I had a couple of those tonight. And so, yes, I feel really damn good. And my friend and instructor Henning in the chat room told me earlier that I'm having a problem because I did not know, and he said it twice, and I missed it the first time, that the miles per hour is displayed, and it's not knots, right? So I'm going 460 miles per hour. That's not how we talk in airplane, pilot to pilot. We talk in knots. Why Digital Combat Simulator would operate in miles per hour and not knots, I don't know. Maybe it is a military thing. I don't think so, but okay. So that means you have to do a conversion. But basically, in a nutshell, it's about 70 miles difference. Okay, so on the SU-25, when it says you need to be going 300, between 300 and 500, 350 and 500 for your best turning, actually means in knots, and the way the simulator actually kind of works, I need to be about 400 miles per hour up to 579, somewhere in there. After 579, and this plane will haul ass. This plane can go, before she breaks up, can do 900 miles an hour in a dive. You can go from 500 miles per hour to 900 miles per hour, which is actually faster than that now. So we're talking miles per hour. So we're going probably hitting Mach 1. I don't know. Or close to it. 1,000 miles per hour. So now, which brings us to what we're about to do. Looking at the camera, looking through the camera here. I've been having a problem with this, and Henning saw me do this last time. You go through these gates, and then he has you climb, and he tells you you should be 700 miles per hour before you hit the last gate. Anyway, I'm converting my speeds so that I can bleed off enough speed at the top of the turn when I go inverted to have control over the damn plane. And what was happening yesterday is I'd come out of the spin, I'd come out of the gate, I'd go inverted, and then I couldn't dive. I couldn't force the nose of the plane to dive. I couldn't turn the plane left or right. I was going so fast, I've lost all handling. So I would try to get up to the top of the gate, flip down, and I'm still going 900 when I'm headed to the ground, and I can't pull out. So then I go through the gate, I go inverted, I engage the maneuvering flaps, and I engage my speed brake, which at least allows me to get, well, I think I'm still dying. I'm still really not able to pull out. Okay, so I'm building up way too much speed by the time I hit that last gate. And so I'm trying to find the optimum speed in the conversion chart thingy so that I bleed off enough speed at the top of the moment before you flip over. You want to be slow enough to where you're in the curve of your best turning ability. Wow, that's a tough one to explain. Okay. All right, so let me go back to real quick. So what it's saying here is 300 miles per hour is 304 knots, but 700. Look at this. There's not a big difference at 300. Wait a minute. It says here that 700 miles per hour is only 608 knots. So we've sped up in miles per hour, but we've decreased in knots. Right? Let me go back to 350. Okay, so 350 miles is 304 knots. I had my numbers wrong. All right. All right. Let's do this. So I don't want to go, I don't need to be going faster than 608. 610. That's why it's in kilometers per hour. Now you're saying it's not miles per hour. Now you're saying it's kmh. Oh my goodness. Well, that doesn't make much sense. Kilometers per hour. 350 kilometers per hour is 188.985 knots. No, it's me being high and missing your instruction. But, okay, now let me go 700. 700 knots. 700 kilometers per hour is 377.97 knots. But 300 knots is 600 kmh. .300 knots here, it says it's 555. 555.6. Let me do 350. 350 is 64H. 325 is 601. 325 knots. $269.97. I don't think the plane will operate. 2699. 269.978 is 500. KMP. $350. 188,985. 188,985, which doesn't seem like that would work. All right, well, let's 7797. 37797 is 700. All right, let's try it. Did we not do something?
As you cycle ripple quantity, take a look at the weapon control panel in the lower left portion of the front dash. On the panel are two knobs. Those are the basics of configuring your settings for bomb release. Now let's learn how to put those bombs on target in CCIP mode. Using what you learned in the navigation lessons, fly through all the gates ahead. Press the space bar to unpause the lesson. If you are not already, press 7 to enter air-to-ground mode. On the HUD, you can see a pipper with a dot in the center. This is your bombing reticle and will use it to aim your bombs. When you're within valid bomb release parameters, indicated by the launch authorization queue on the HUD, the bombs will impact where the bomb reticle pipper is at time of weapon release. Along the left side of the HUD is the range scale bar and caret that indicates the bomb fall range.
100 knots. No, that's not working right. Oh, shoot. Also, the keyboard command, for whatever reason, to respawn, which it says in the controls is a right control shift tab, should allow me to respawn. It doesn't function. So I have had to resort to just keep doing this. Believe you me, I'd rather just have it your way. But maybe that's something else I'm doing wrong. But I don't believe so. You know, I don't know. I'm going to have to...
In this lesson, we're going to learn how to deliver unguided bombs in the Continuously Computed Impact Point mode, or CCIP. Unguided bombs of the SU-25T include the Fab 100, Fab 250, Fab 500, RBK cluster bombs, and BADAB penetration bombs. In this case, I have 2 racks of Fab 100s and a couple of larger Fab 500s. Each of the Fab bombs has a high explosive warhead, and the number in the name indicates the bomb's weight in kilograms. I currently have the lesson in active pause. The first thing I need you to do is select air-to-ground mode by pressing 7. Do this now. Note that the HUD has changed to remove most of the navigation information. And when you cycle a weapon, take a look at the weapon status panel in the bottom center of the front dash. It's the black panel with the shape of a wing along the top. There are 2 rows of lights below it. The top row of yellow lights indicates the weapon stations that have weapons attached to them. And the lower row of green lights indicates weapon stations that are loaded with the currently selected weapon type. In the top right corner of the panel, a B symbol is displayed. This indicates that the selected weapon type is a bomb. You can also see the symbol in the lower right corner of the HUD. By pressing left control and spacebar, you can set the ripple quantity, meaning how many bombs are released when you press and hold the weapon release button or trigger. Try this now. As you cycle ripple quantity, take a look at the weapon control. Those are the basics configuring your settings for bomb release. Now let's learn how to put those bombs on target in CCIP mode. Using what you learned in the navigation lessons, fly through all the gates ahead. Press the spacebar to unpause the lesson.
All right. I'm going to try it at 6:08.
If you are not already, press 7 to enter air-to-ground mode.
Oh, you're shitting me. I built up too much speed on the down and I couldn't pull up enough then. I was hauling ass. This is so frustrating. I recommend you both just switch off. There's no point in watching this disaster. Crap. Let me just close out of this for a moment. I'm just going to do a free fly. Oh, I bet. I bet. But it's a tough one. So 500 kilometers, 270 knots. I don't understand. Okay.
This is a free flight mission. You may use it to become familiar with basic aircraft handling or just explore the area. There are no threats.
No threats. Okay. 350 kilometers per hour. 188,985. We can't go that speed. You can't go 188,985. $215. We can't even, at 400 kilometers per hour, we're not even doing 215 knots. $350 knots, 148.2. Okay, if it's 350 knots, 648.2 miles per hour. Either. Let's see how fast we can go. Just control W multiple times. Oh, that's awesome. I was wondering how to do that. $730. Okay, I want 648. $70. $650. Okay. Okay, at 630, it is still able to hold at least 25 degrees. Without falling. Okay, now be able to go as low as. Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's go 575. 1064 miles. 550. 477. All right, let's try to slow down to 296. See if we can hold it. I know this is boring, but this is so vital for me to know the speeds, the exact speeds I can turn in this thing and maintain, and still going 540. Just on momentum? Oh, must have some. 510. I'm on momentum. I have no power to the engines at the moment, and she's doing really well, actually. She's not losing a whole lot of energy. The autopilot's able to hold it. And we're slowly starting to lose speed. But it's bleeding off so slow. That's really impressive, actually. $400. We can keep going according to this thing. I want to see. Oh, it's starting to drop now. Oh, no, she's not able to hold at 380. She's falling at 380. Go back up. 390, 400. 410. Hold there, 420. That'd be funny if it's at 420. 440. Okay, and she can still climb at 430. 420. And 4. Starting to fall, 370. 360. Nope, she's fallen. Or 20. Man, I wish we could just dial it in. I would love to just be able to stop and get the engines right at 400. Right there. $390, 400. There it is, right there. Stay right there. As we start, but we're building up speed again. No. Able to hold the 20. Oh, now she's losing it. Okay, a little bit more thrust. 410. All right, let's try this. Alt 9. See if we can tip her over a little bit more. Up, 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 up. Didn't like that at all. But I'll tell you what I think about you trying to do that to me. Thank you very much. You have a good day at school. Have fun learning too. That's something we didn't have any time to do when you go into that dogfight mission. You have no time to trim up anything. Okay, there's 620. 10. Alt 9. Let me. Be crazy. Do it, do it, do it. Oh. The other way. I didn't say go that way. But I need some altitude. Want that. Welcome back. Can't do it. Nope.
Pull up. Pull up.
That's a bummer. I think it's doing it in miles per. Good night. Good night. Good night to you. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Where's my thank you? Thank you. Ah. Let's try. My SU-25 certainly, yeah, most certainly died. 5 minutes after the hour. Oof. Man. What I'm going to do, I think, is Digital Combat Simulator. I'm going to turn the volume down all the way. That way we don't have to hear the instructor through this. Nope. Don't have to listen to him at all. I'd rather hear this catchy tune that I'm going to use as my bed music. Any music that is underneath your voice. This comes from radio. What I learned about radio. Being a disc jockey. Or whatever. Anybody who talks over music. The music underneath you is called your bed. Like what you sleep in. Your bed music. So I've got this lovely bed music from Arthur Yoria called Hio Hio. And I think I'll be using that as my bed music from here on out. I like it.
As you cycle, those are the basics, configuring your settings for bomb release. Now let's learn how to put those bombs on target in CCIP mode.
And I think for these, I want to drop 4 bombs and set them at, I'll leave them at 1 second. Okay. Now we can turn back up.
If you are not already, press 7 to enter air to ground mode.
So now we can turn this back up. It's 7. I want to do that. 400.
On the HUD, you can see a pipper with a dot in the center. This is your bombing reticle, and we'll use it to aim your bombs. When you're within valid bomb release parameters, indicated by the launch authorization queue on the HUD, the bombs will impact where the bombing reticle pipper is at time of weapon release. Along the left side of the HUD is the range scale bar and caret that indicates the bomb fall range. The bottom left corner of the HUD, IP ground is indicated, meaning visual bombing mode is selected. The B in the bottom right corner of the HUD indicates you have bomb selected. Ahead and below your nose is a set of trucks marked with red smoke. This will be your aim point. When you fly to the next gate, quickly begin a dive onto the target.
This isn't the mission.
Dive now to an angle of 50 to 60 degrees as indicated on the HUD pitch scale. Maneuver the aircraft to place the bombing reticle pipper over the targets marked with the red smoke. When a line is drawn from the top of the bombing reticle and an LA appears at the bottom of the HUD, release your bombs by pressing the spacebar. Control your airspeed by reducing throttle and pressing B to deploy your air brakes.
Over.
Nice job, you hit the target. I've added some additional targets marked with green smoke to practice on. You can continue to practice, or you
That, although that worked, that wasn't the mission I was talking about, where we're supposed to go inverted.
Now that we're getting the hang of unguided bomb delivery, we're going to move on to using unguided. Take a look at the weapon status panel in the bottom center of the front deck.
Oh, this is another long one.
See that except for the most outer and inner, great. Now we're in air to ground mode, and you can see HPC. The next rocket type is the S8KOM. This rocket this is the S13OF, which is held forward to a B. The S24B is your largest rocket with a diameter of 600 millimeters. The other large rocket at your disposal is the S25. The final rocket is the S8OFP2. Like the KOM version, press the spacebar to unpause the lesson and fly through all the gates. As we're en route to the target, we can practice your low-level ingress skills. Nearing the target, we'll initiate a pop-up attack.
Seven.
In the middle portion of your HUD is your rocket aiming reticle. Much like the bombing reticle, this indicates where the rockets will land if you launch them at that instant. However, the range must be within minimum and maximum range value of the selected rocket type. Along the left side of the HUD is the rocket launch zone indication. The top bar indicates the maximum range of the rocket, and the bottom bar indicates the minimum safe range. The caret moves vertically along the left side of the HUD to indicate your current range based on where the rocket aiming reticle is placed. When the caret is between the maximum and minimum range bars, the range is valid. When your selected rocket type is within range, a launch authorization queue will appear on the HUD. At the next gate, we'll start our climb. Make sure your speed is above 700 kilometers per hour.
It does say kilometers. No, we can't. $50. Birded.
Pull up. Pull up.
Well, what happened to dropping the weapons? You're kidding me. That's a guided rocket. No? Too low.
Fuel 1500.
Come on. Drop. Didn't drop.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Maybe I was in the wrong mode.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull
I
up.
don't get it. What am I doing wrong? One didn't have anything. Makes no sense.
Pull up. Pull up. Over G. Over G. Over.
I don't know.
Over G. Over G. Over.
Something's wrong. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, well, how long have I been broadcasting? 3 hours and 26 minutes. That's long enough. I'm going to wrap it up right here and say thank you, and I need to get some sleep, and switch it over to this. Turn that off. Turn this on. That off. This has been episode 120 of the Adventures of Skydude, where I have been challenged to a duel in Digital Combat Simulator. So I'm going to be in here for a while as opposed to being in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but we will get back to Microsoft Flight Simulator soon enough. All right, I will see you tomorrow at my normal time of 1 p.m. in the afternoon here for the regularly scheduled stream, and then probably more streams tomorrow night as well. Got to keep practicing this as much as possible. All right, and then we might move over to War Thunder. We might check War Thunder out. So I'm still thinking about it. So I will play us out with the song I started us with tonight, which is No Brakes by Arthur Yoria, and I will see you tomorrow.
Summer's gone away. Winter's here. Could it be? love is in the way, but love is in my veins. Tell me that we're back, and tell me